Hey y'all, I finally got this thing working. I'm just gonna wait for a little bit to see some people hop on here. So I'm just gonna wait for just a few minutes. I got 2 so far.
See that? One.
Here's my assistant. So I've never done one of these live streams before, but I've watched other channels do them. So I thought I'd hop on here and try it out. So I'm just gonna wait and see if anybody's gonna join. How long am I supposed to wait?
I don't know.
Still just waiting. All right, I'm gonna give it just a little bit longer. See if anybody joins, because it's just 9:02. So I'm gonna give it just a minute.
Got 2.
All right. My numbers keep jumping from 2 to 0. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and talk, and this will be out on my videos too, if you need to come back and watch it later. So just a couple things that I wanted to just jump on here and just thank everyone for my support, for supporting me. It's just blown my mind. The number of people that are subscribing to the channel, watching the videos. I never expected it to get to what it has gotten to. I'm up to 271, and it just blows my mind. I just appreciate all y'all support, and I love teaching people. It's just something I like to do. It all started off, a girl at work, we were talking one day, and she's like, "You just interest me so much. You should make a Facebook page and make videos and stuff for people to watch." And I was like, "I don't think anybody's gonna watch that." And she said, "Well, I will." And so I went ahead and started making them, and it just grew from there. And so this live chat is kind of to celebrate passing 250 subscribers, because I'm super excited about that. Um, so I guess the topic I wanted to talk about tonight. Um, well, let's start from the beginning, from you know gardening all the way down to what we do with that food. So we grow a garden every year. Um, this year being the largest that we've ever done. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise and the deer don't eat it, we will be all right. And but we just always do. There is no better feeling than wanting a good tomato sandwich, and you just walk out to your backyard and pick one that you grew yourself. And there's no better tasting either. So, um, that's just one reason why we do it. And then, of course, if you plant a big enough garden, you're going to have excess food. Um, Now, to feed a family of 4 for a whole year, that's going to take a big garden. And I'm saying, if you're planning on living off of that for the whole year, even as big a garden as we have, that's not going to feed our family of 4 for a whole year if we were to eat that for 365 days. Which, of course, we don't do. I still go to the grocery store. We still go out to eat. Well, not now at the moment, but hopefully soon we will go to the Mexican restaurant. But we depend on that somewhat. Like, at least a couple, 2 or 3 days a week, I'm cooking just straight from the stuff that I have stored in my basement that came from our garden. So preserving foods It's not difficult. It's just you. Guess you gotta have the want to do it because it is time consuming. But I enjoy it, and I enjoy teaching people, especially this day and time. I feel like it's a good skill to learn food preservation. I do everything from I do some drying of foods like green beans. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of. Some people call them leather britches, and some people call them. There's another name for shuck beans, which is dried green beans. I do that. That's just another way to preserve them, and they last because you dry them out completely and just store them in a sack. So I do that. I do a lot of canning. I make a lot of different things. Um, I just think it's important to know that kind of stuff. Don't do that. I'm talking to my cohort over here. But I don't know. There's other ways to preserve, even if you're scared of canners or don't have the time to can. There's there's other ways of preserving stuff. Like I said, the drying. How I dry those green beans, I don't even put them in a dehydrator. On these hot summer North Carolina days when it's 95 degrees outside, I take them out there and I put them on a screen, lay them on the hood of my car for a couple days, and they're dry. So I lost my train of thought. I seen your little light come up there. um, um, I have a hard time talking on these live things, but anyways, so that's something that's easy to do, and you just leave them there. You don't have to worry with them unless it's going to rain. Another good way of preserving food is, of course, freezing, and that's your best thing to do. Actually, to get the freshest taste from any vegetable is to freeze it. Um, and something good to invest in if you plan on freezing stuff, like if this is your first year having a garden and you plan to freeze your food, invest in a vacuum sealer. I mean, I'm eating stuff from 2 years ago that still tastes as fresh as it did the day that I put it in the freezer from that vacuum sealer. Which that's the best way. And the good thing, I was reading this comment over here, but the good thing about canning versus freezing though is canning your food is already cooked, so you just have to warm it up. Um, you just pour it out of the jar, warm it up, add your salt and pepper, and you're ready to go. If it's frozen, of course, you still have to do the cooking process because you freeze most stuff raw. Um, but yeah, that's mainly what this page is about is the canning, and then I do a lot of cooking at home. I like the down home southern cooking. Sometimes I've heard people refer to my style of cooking as Appalachian, so I've started trying to throw that in there. That word when I'm talking to my videos. That we're more Appalachian style cooking and stuff than actually Southern. So I like to think of myself as a little bit of both. Now, if y'all have any questions or anything for me, um, or just want to say hello, just leave it in the comments. If you want to. Like I said, this is like my first live stream, so I'm just kind of piddling through this. I'm just trying to think. Let's see. Let's talk about what all we're growing this year. So Saturday, we planted 250
Mm-hmm.
250 tomato plants Saturday by hand on that nice hot day. Grits are good. Yes, they are. I agree with that. Uh, but we planted 250 tomato plants because we're going to try to sell some produce. And plus, I make a lot of spaghetti sauce and salsa, tomato juice, canned tomatoes. I do all that. And then we planted 167 pepper plants of all kinds of different peppers. So again, all by hand. There's a lot of that. We've got 6 rows of corn.
Yeah.
We've got 6 total rows of sweet corn planted this year. I mean, long rows. Okra. Our okra is not doing real well. We actually had to replant that yesterday, and I think it's because of these cold nights. In these cold days, okra is a hot weather plant, and it just has not been cooperating. So we replanted that yesterday. We've got a lot of cabbage, broccoli, lettuce, strawberries. I'm finally getting some strawberries off my plants, just not enough to do anything with besides eat. A lot of onions, garlic,
Beans.
a bunch of green beans, crowder peas, October beans. Um, if you've never had October beans, I know there's some people that has never heard of those. If you've never had October beans, they taste like leftover pintos. That's the only way I know how to explain it. You know how when pintos are left over and they get all thick and yummy and delicious and creamy? That's what an October bean tastes like. So if you've never tried them, I would suggest putting those in your garden this year if you can find some. Um, and deers like them too, so we have to keep the deers out. For right now, we're gonna put a fence up soon. And just pray that they stay away until then. Because the bad thing is once the deer find your garden, that's usually the end of it. Last year we actually put up an 8-foot fence around our garden after the deer had been picking off our beans and things, and they were still jumping it and cleaned us out over an 8-foot fence. So this year it's going to be a 10-foot fence, and we'll just see. I don't know if it's Santa's reindeer jumping over that or what it is. I don't know. Let's see. Is it squash? Of course. A lot of cucumbers. We planted the white cucumbers this year. White cucumbers make some delicious dill pickles. So I'm going to make some dill pickles out of those white cucumbers. And the exciting thing is I'm going to share all this with y'all as soon as it gets here. But that's going to be like towards the middle of the summer. But all that stuff is good. And, it gives you that warm and fuzzy feeling inside. When you can go to your cabinet and get out a jar of pickles that you made, that came from your garden that you planted that seed and grew that plant and made those pickles or whatever it is you have. Um, but does anybody have any questions or anything? I just appreciate the people that joined in. I know this was kind of a short live stream, but I got babies I got to get in the bed, and I've got to get up and go to work in the morning. But I just wanted to come on here and again thank everybody for the support. It is appreciated more than you know. I never thought the page would even get to where it is now. So I'm just really excited about that. 270 subscribers. I think it's 270. No, 271. But yes, I'm very excited about that. And hopefully, maybe I can do some more of these live streams as time goes on. Just get on here. I feel like this is a good way to interact with my subscribers. Um, Thank you for the videos. You're very welcome, Lawson Lawn and Farm. That is my dear husband. So if you want to know what's going on outside of the True Grit kitchen and out in the garden or just around the farm, because we have a lot going on outside of this house, a whole lot. Check out Lawson Lawn and Farm, which is, like I said, that's my husband, to see what's going on the outside. But anyways, well, thank y'all again. I hope everybody has a nice night. I just posted a new video about making homemade vegetable soup. Check that out. I love soup. I make it the way Mama made it or makes it, and it is delicious. So yeah, check that out. And it's so easy. It's such an easy weeknight meal, like 20 minutes, and you got supper. So, anyways, I'll see y'all next time. Thank you again.